I'm sure you know that I won't outline a problem without presenting a proposed solution, right? Kind of leading as an instructor, but anyway. Database Resource Manager, or DBRM as I'll call it, is a quality of service tool built into Oracle Database. It's been around for many years. This is not a 12c new feature, although shortly I will mention enhancements to DBRM in 12c. But the quality of service, or QoS as it's sometimes called, means that we can schedule and guarantee sessions a certain level of service, and of course we can also, by definition, limit or cap the amount of resources that sessions can have. A session, I've used that a lot. What is a session? A session is a connection to Oracle Database. A session can represent a real live human being, an Oracle user, but just as likely can represent an application, a SQL script. As we're going to see when we define our consumer groups, the consumer group is the logical container that we use to plug into our resource plans. You can look at a consumer group as an operating system group. For instance, Windows systems administrators are typically great fans of organizing their Active Directory users into groups and then applying permissions at the group level. It makes sense, obviously. Would you rather make rules for 100 users individually or set rules once for a group? That's a pretty easy question to answer, isn't it? So anyway, we have the different session types, and we organize those into consumer groups based on similar access requirements to Oracle Database. We then, in turn, can take those consumer groups and plug them into directives, actually. And I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because I'm kind of excited. But anyway, we plug those groups into resource plan directives, which are essentially rules. If you've done firewall configuration, you're certainly familiar with access control lists and rules where you do an allowance or a restriction based on a particular criterion or criteria. Same thing here. Examples of types of resources that we can schedule on the Oracle server using DBRM include things like CPU, that's a no-brainer, parallel execution. Now, some sessions will try to execute in parallel. In other words, multiple related sessions, potentially across multiple servers, and you can put a cap on that if you want to. Similarly, we can do caps on the number of concurrent sessions that can be spawned, session time limits, etc. You'll see in our demos the specific options there. I just want you to know at this point that we have great flexibility in defining our consumer groups and their membership. We can actually do that dynamically. And we also have great flexibility in the types of resources on the server that can be scheduled. Again, the point here is that we're able to take Oracle and actually come out of the instance and hit the host server and put rules on the host server itself in terms of its hardware utilization. That's pretty darned powerful, isn't it?